All right, let's dive right into a massive question today. Why does time only ever seem to move forward? Well, the answer is tied into a really fundamental principle of the universe, and trust me, it's probably not what you're thinking. Let's get into it.
So, let's do a little thought experiment. Imagine you had some kind of cosmic superpower, the ability to grab every single particle in the entire universe, every atom, every quark, and put it back exactly where it was, say, a million years ago. Perfect position, perfect velocity, the whole shebang.
You'd think, logically, that the universe's story would just repeat itself, right? It's like hitting rewind on a movie. The same stars would form, the same galaxies would collide. History would just play out again, identically.
But here's the twist. That's not what would happen. Not even close.
See, even with that absolutely perfect reset, the universe would unfold along a completely different path. The story wouldn't repeat at all. A brand new one would start. And the reason for this? Well, it all comes down to one simple, fundamental rule of the cosmos.
And that rule is called entropy. Now, scientifically speaking, entropy is just a measure of disorder or randomness. The universe, as a whole, is always moving towards a more disordered state. It's a one-way street. So even the tiniest, most microscopic little difference in our reset, a single atom slightly out of place, would be enough to kickstart a future that's totally different from the one we know.
Okay, I know that sounds super abstract, so let's bring it down to Earth with a really simple experiment that actually proves this cosmic rule in action. Picture this. You have a robotic arm dropping a perfectly ordered deck of cards, and every single condition is controlled. The drop height, the air pressure, the temperature, everything is identical for every drop. You'd expect the cards to land in the same messy pile each time, right? But they don't. They never, ever do. Every single drop results in a completely unique pattern on the floor.
So what gives? If all the big, measurable conditions are exactly the same, what is causing this chaos? What's the hidden variable?
Well, the answer is in all the tiny forces you can't see or control. Little microscopic currents in the air, tiny vibrations in the molecules of the cards themselves. You even have quantum-level jitters happening in the motors of the robotic arm. These minuscule invisible changes are more than enough to guarantee a totally new outcome every single time.
And this just nails the core idea. The source material puts it perfectly, saying that each event is like a new universe of arrangements. That previous state, that ordered deck, it's gone forever, replaced by a new, unique present.
So, okay, that's what happens with a deck of cards. But what happens when we scale this idea up, way up, to the level of the entire cosmos? How does entropy shape everything?
You know, you might picture a lonely meteor drifting through the void as something timeless, something unchanging. But that's really just an illusion. Even way out there, it's being gently tugged on by the gravity of distant galaxies, it's getting zapped by cosmic radiation, and it's even being nudged by invisible filaments of dark matter. And here's the crucial takeaway. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is ever truly static. From the tiniest subatomic particles to the largest clusters of galaxies, every single system is in a constant state of flux. Change is literally the only constant in the universe.
Now, once you really get this, it completely changes how you have to think about classic time travel ideas, like the famous butterfly effect.
You know the story. Go back in time, step on a butterfly, and you return to a totally different future. It's a classic paradox. But if the universe can never actually be reset to a previous state, the paradox itself just kind of vanishes. And here's why. There is no original timeline to go back and mess up. Any attempts to reset the past wouldn't be rewinding the tape. It would just be starting a completely new movie, a whole new branch of reality. Sure, if you went back a few seconds, the new future might look almost identical. But if you tried to reset the universe by a billion years, you'd end up with a cosmos that would be completely alien to our own.
So, let's pull all these threads together. Let's land on one powerful, final idea about what time really is. This quote from our source material just sums it all up perfectly. The reason we can't rewind the universe is the exact same reason those cards never fall the same way twice. The forward arrow of time is really just the forward arrow of entropy, always moving from one unique state to the next.
And this gives us a whole new way to think about the past. It hasn't vanished into thin air. It's better to think of it as a specific arrangement of the universe, a state of entropy that, by the laws of physics, can simply never be recreated. It's not gone. It's just unreachable. And that, of course, leaves us with one last really mind-bending question to chew on. If every single moment in the past is just a unique configuration of the universe that can never be repeated, well then where does it actually exist now? What exactly is a memory or a history book if the state they describe is forever out of our reach?